All right, so we are live in all the channels now, and today it's going to be a bit of a well, as usual on a Tuesday at 6 here in Central European time. So today it's going to be a bit of a different, um, yeah, a bit of a different chat, a bit of a different thing because I'm looking for questions and for some things for the job search, but I think it's important to talk about what I do and what I started doing now as a career coach. Basically, tell a little bit of my journey so far, which basically just started. To be honest, I have a long road to follow on this, but it's all about. It all started with wanting to challenge myself, right? So. I always like to deal with people. I'm good with communications. I'm good in with interpersonal communication. I like to talk to other people. I like to help. So I always thought, well, I should look for activities that allow me to do that. Right now, my full time job really allows me to do that. So I'm really happy with that. And I got told by other people about coaching. I knew a little bit about coaching. I didn't know a lot. People started telling me, "Well, have you tried it, or have you tried having a look of what does a coach do, and have you tried being a coach?" I had a look. I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's have a look. Let's try this out." And yeah, so I did, and I found it very interesting how you can help people by being a coach and not just trying to sell, let's say, empty things, sell wind. And the more I dig into this area, the better it gets for me in terms of feeling that I'm actually being of service to people, because it's all about that. And of course, you need to choose an area that you think you have some knowledge in that area. And that area for me is career coaching, is more focused on the job search, because I have a particular profile, because it's been almost 7 years that I live outside of Brazil now. And in these 7 years, I always had to start from scratch in terms of finding employment in the countries I lived in. So when I was in Brazil, of course, sometimes I would have a hard time. It's a very competitive market. It's different than other countries. Um, at least different than Germany, different than New Zealand and the UK, are the countries that I lived in. So it's a different environment, and sometimes I would struggle. Sometimes I would have to do a lot of research. I would have to ask people for help, and with that, I learned a lot over the years. When I went to New Zealand, it was the same thing. Start from zero, start from a place where I needed to understand the market. I needed to understand what was needed in that market to succeed, to find a job. And I found that way. And again, you learn a lot of things. You talk to different people. You learn new techniques, new ways to write your CV, new ways to be interviewed, and everything. Then, when I came to Germany, I came to study. So again, I had to look for a job. I had to make contacts. I had to network, and also a different market, different mentality. And after that, I took up a job in the UK, and it was basically the same thing. Just adapting. I got there with the job, so it's different. I didn't look for a job there, but I had the work experience there. So all in all, it's all a very, for me, it was a very interesting journey to get to the conclusion that that's the type of coaching I want to do. That's the type of service that I want to offer people. That's the type of value that I want to add to the clients that hire me. Of course, there's a lot of pro bono services that I do for some occasions. Um, but yeah, it's interesting because you think that one type of knowledge, one type of CV, one type of technique will work for everything. That's the perception that you have at the beginning, but that's really not what is required. Each country, each market, each environment you insert yourself in, you need to understand it. You need to understand where you like where to push the buttons, where how do you get to get the job that you want. And once you get the job, you need to understand for how much money do you ask for as a salary, if it's fair or not, because that's one thing that you don't want to worry about when you start working. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit of my journey so far as a coach. I incentive all of you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, any social media to send me questions. I reply to them. If you send me questions, I reply to them either here live, or I can reply on a message. Just hit me up, uh, and we can go ahead and try to help you in some way. I never start charging from the beginning. I always have a chat first, so you understand what I can do, and also how is the best way for me to help you. So I hope you guys send me some questions soon, and let's have a conversation on what's going on in your job search. Thanks. Cheers.